guys, so basically in this video I'm going to be talking about my biggest fear, but before I do that I'm going to say this Tumblr quote of the day, which is relatable to me, by the way. I prefer to distance myself whenever I'm in a bad mood, because I'll be the most heartless person you'll ever meet. That was just relatable to me, so I just decided to do that, just to prove to you guys I'm also not this perfect, nice girl. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about my biggest fear, and yeah, it's just basically a topic that's very hard for me to talk about, and also I'm wearing Roe's top, so I hope he doesn't watch this. I don't think he will. Anyways, my biggest fear in the whole world, I mean, I don't really know if there's a phobia for it, but my biggest fear is to forget. I have this crazy fear of forgetting things, even whether it's small or a huge memory. I freak out when I realize that I forgot something, and because of this I have to back up a lot of stuff. I take photos of things that I throw away. It's very hard for me to get rid of my clothes, so I take photos before give them to charity or sell them. If my mom, like my real mom, gives me something, that's something that I just can't throw away, and if I have to, I will, if it's like a piece of clothing, I will cut off like a square of the fabric from it. I like to keep scents, so I keep them in little glass bottles. See, I don't want to show these to you guys because this like actually like bothers me, because I think it's just really freaky, like who does that? Because I collect a lot of things. I collect pill packets, when I used to change my hair color a lot, I don't do this anymore though, I would keep a strand of the hair color and I would compare it to when I changed my hair color, so I would just have random colorful strands. But I stopped doing that because I just got sick of it. I was just like, why the I just felt like a crazy person, and I do this in a way kind of to feed my control issues. Like, I like having the control of, you know, just controlling things, basically. I kind of know how it started. Basically, when I had all those issues in Australia when I was living there, when I was like homeless, and if you watch my depression video, then you know, just kind of like a brief story about that. I was just having a really hard time in Australia living with my mom. I was living in a couple different houses and garages and everything, so it was a very rough time for me. And when I moved away from that environment and I moved to my dad, I kind of pushed all of that negativity out of my memories. I don't know how I did this. I don't know if this is possible, but it was possible for me. I just kind of chose to forget everything that happened. Everything was like bliss. Everything was perfect. That I didn't remember all the shit, like bad shit that happened. That I just chose to forget everything. And that happiness only lasted a while because things reminded me of stuff that I forgot. As in, like, I remember the first time where it really hit me hard was when I saw this roundabout in Malaysia, and it felt like a roundabout in Australia, and I was like, I got this nostalgic feeling, and I was like, where is this from? Like, what is this? Like, it's just such a weird feeling. I feel like I'm back in Australia. And then I realized an event that happened around that roundabout, and I just broke down and I started crying because it was just a really hard memory to think about. That's why I freak out over forgetting things, because when I remember them again and I realize that I chose to forget them, I feel like I'm losing control. Like, I feel like I'm just choosing to remember the good stuff when I should be accepting that bad stuff has happened. And I don't do this consciously, I do this subconsciously, so I can't really control it. That's why I like to take a lot of photos, and I know people are going to be like, oh, that's just an excuse for you to take selfies and stuff, but no, I really do take a lot of photos. I like to document events. I love keeping diaries, and every day thinking about what I did yesterday, remembering what I ate and what I wore. And you can ask me for any important day of my life and I could remember what I was wearing. Like, it was weird. I was talking to, I know this is off topic, but I'm just gonna do this ramble. I was talking to this guy that I had a crush on when I was like in Malaysia when I was like 12 years old, and he left the country, and had a conversation with him, and I was just telling him like, oh, like talking to him now, I'm like, dude, I can't believe I used to have like a huge crush on you. And he's like, oh yeah, we're just like reliving old memories. And I was like, I remember the day that you left. I didn't say goodbye because I was too shy. You wore a lime green t-shirt and it was a Wednesday. And he was like, what? I can't believe you remember that. And I was just like, that's when I kind of realized that I do remember really useless stuff. But for me, mostly clothes is, that's weird. Like, I remember a lot of, especially clothes that I was wearing. I remember what I was wearing that day he left. I was wearing a white short blouse and a brown mini skirt. Yeah, I usually remember what people were wearing, and I took a rock from his garden, like a pebble, and I wrote DIB in it, which was like kind of his initials or something, whatever, and I kept that, and I still have that rock. It's just like how I keep memories, or how I kind of want to, like, what I do is, like, that's why I keep scents, is because I want to have a trigger. Like, I want something to trigger me to that memory, because I don't exactly have the time to write down everything that I remember or document what I remember, so I want something to trigger me to remember, and that's what I do. And I'm actually just realizing this now. Everything right now, I don't plan any of my videos. I have not planned any of my videos, but I do plan to, because there's a lot of videos that I want to do, but it's very hard to do it, like, off the spot. So anyways, that is my biggest fear, to forget something. And when I forget something and I remember that I chose to forget it subconsciously, then I freak out, and that's like when I usually self-harm, or when I just have a freak attack where I just freak out. The last time I remember subconsciously pushing stuff out of my memory, I don't know if it was because I chose to or because of the drugs I was on, but it was my suicide attempt, and it's just a very blurry week that I had, right before the suicide attempt. After it was okay, but before it, and when I was going through this depression stage, like this huge, like, severe depression stage, all of it's very, very blurry to me. And I don't know if it's because I didn't have a lot to remember, because all I did was sleep it. But I do have a couple, like, flashbacks or, like, triggers to that night where I think about what I was feeling and who I was talking to, stuff like that. I thought this was really important for me to share with people, because I do have this is a really, like, big fear of mine, and it scares me every single day. It scares me every single day because I'm growing older, and my biggest fear is forgetting, and every day that goes by, I have more to remember. If I was, 5 years old, I only lived 5 years of my life. And if I wanted to remember everything, it would be easy, because I only have 5 years to remember. Only so many events can happen, but I worry about when I'm 30 or 40 or 50, and I forget how I felt now. I don't even have time to think about big events that are happening now, and that scares me, because I don't want to be forgotten. And that's why when I did my suicide attempt, I made it so public, because I didn't want to be forgotten. I didn't want people to forget me, and I never want people to forget me. I know that's really bad, but that's why what my mom told me when I was younger really affected me, because she said, any popularity is good popularity. I would get popular over bad things, and I would always say that quote to me, any popularity is good popularity. Anything, like, if people's calling me a bitch, they're still talking about me, that's okay. But, like, now I'm kind of moving away from that and realizing that I want to be meaningful to a small group of people, but for good things, instead of being meaningful to the whole world, but for bad things. So I guess that's how I'm becoming a better person as myself. So anyways, I have to stick to my topic about my biggest fear. So that is my biggest fear, and I do screenshot every single bit of support that I get from my YouTube and my Instagram and my Tumblr, and even on my Facebook. Some people follow me and they message me and stuff. So I just want to say to people that I'm gonna try not to forget people. Like you guys are awesome. I'm trying to learn to accept that if I forget something, that it's not the end of the world, and that I shouldn't freak out. And I'll keep you guys updated on my fear, because one day I hope this fear goes away, but I can't imagine it going away, because I have a fear of it going away. It's like a fear within a fear, but things will be fine. Things will be good, so hope everyone's having a good day. Sorry this was such a long video, and yeah.